Yeah, well, by training. And the training that we did in Hong Kong went on for a minimum of 4 years, and in most cases it's taken the students 6 years to achieve competence and develop enough clinical practice to refine their skills and be really confident with the method. Similarly, the training that we run in London is a minimum of 4 years, usually 5, and it involves a lot of theoretical learning and a lot of practice, and clinical practice under supervision. Let's say a little bit more about the training. So the training involves both learning how to do psychodrama in a group, but also how to use psychodrama with individual clients. So the key concept in psychodrama is role, and it doesn't mean acting, it means a way of being. So if you think about how we are in our lives, we all inhabit many roles. At the moment, you're the interviewer, and I'm the interviewee. And we could expand that and say you're a curious interviewer, and I'm a slightly nervous interviewee, because this is not a very practiced role of mine. But if you put me in another situation like teaching psychodrama, that's a more practiced role. So you'd see me being a confident and creative psychodrama teacher. So if you think about any area of your life, whether it's in your personal life or in your work life, there are a multitude of roles that you inhabit during your working day or your working week, and at home. And psychodrama uses role analysis to help us determine which of these roles is working well for you. If I'm a diligent and successful student, there's not a problem with that role, but I'm a reluctant, lazy and underachieving student, might cause you some suffering in your life. So we analyse the roles, we name them, and we practice new roles, including roles that maybe we will never live in our real life, but we might want to, in a kind of metaphorical way, engage with for our inner life. For example, I'm not a very good singer, but somewhere in my imagination, I really love the idea of standing on stage at Covent Garden and being able to hold an audience with my voice. I think that would be the most wonderful thing. So that would be a role that exists purely in the imagination. But if we access the qualities of these roles, it can increase our role repertoire and give us more opportunities to fully be ourselves in our life, to fulfill ourselves, really. As for role analysis, I can say a little bit about that. It's a technique that has been developed largely through my colleague Ginny Jeffries, but also based on some other theoreticians in the field of psychodrama, namely Delmiro Bustos, Anthony Williams, and Moreno, the founder of psychodrama. And we have a very methodical way of determining how somebody is functioning in a given moment, according to the context they find themselves in, and according to their behaviour, their feelings, and the underlying beliefs that drive their way of being in that moment, and the consequences of that. Now that sounds very dry, but actually what it is a framework for understanding what's working well, what's not working well for somebody in their life, and to begin to explore where the unhelpful beliefs that we hold about ourselves or about other people or about the world in general, where they come from. And very often, as with many therapies, we find out that some of those beliefs come from early experiences and the sense that we made out of them, the meaning that we gave those experiences. So these are some of the kind of underpinnings that inform our thinking as psychodrama psychotherapists. And in the action, in the practice of being in a group, these are kind of what's happening backstage in the director's mind. In the actual doing of the psychodrama, hopefully there's an experience of connection and exploration and safety to explore and develop new ways of being. To be more confident in your studying, or you'd like to be more motivated? Is there anything you'd like to change in the way that you study? We'll use that as an example.
Then I would like to be more motivated. Yeah.
You'd like to be more motivated. So that would be our contract. We'd be doing a psychodrama with you on I'd like to be more motivated in my studies. And we would set up on the stage a scene using other members of the group in which you would show us a moment in your life, a recent and real moment in your life, where you are struggling to be motivated. You're struggling to stay in touch with your motivation as a student. And we'd look at the action, like where you're sitting and who else is around. We might look at people who are not physically around, but whose message is around for you. Like maybe your tutor is kind of in your mind's eye saying, you know, if you don't produce a better mark this essay, you might have to repeat the year. Something. And then we'd also look at those inner voices, that some of which might be quite helpful. You might have a little voice of motivation and encouragement in you that's saying, you can do it. I know it's a bit boring, but stick at it for the moment and it'll flow again. But you might have a more destructive or more inhibiting voice that's saying to you, you know, however hard you try, you know you're going to fail. And we would have people from the group play those roles as well. So we wouldn't just be looking at a scene with you sitting at your computer. We'd be looking at you sitting at your computer, but also with these inner voices, the encouraging voice, the less encouraging voice, the tutor who you might be afraid of, they're going to fail me if I don't do well enough. And we'd look at your response to those. And that would be the opening scene of the psychodrama, through which we'd do a role analysis and determine particularly where you get the belief, however hard I try, I know I'm not going to succeed. And that would be the kind of dysfunctional belief that would be limiting your life perhaps. And we would track that back with further scenes to find out where it comes from and to try and rework something internally for you, so that when we come back to the first scene to practice a new way of being, maybe an hour and a half later, we'd see a change. We'd see a change whereby maybe your encouraging voice is right by your side, and that voice that gives you this very unhelpful message will have been disempowered, understood, and maybe reconstellated, reformed into something new. Like, I don't know, maybe something like, I know I'm somebody who can stick with things. It doesn't faze me that this essay is difficult to write at this moment. I'm going to stick with it. And that would actually change the quality of your life in those moments where you're trying to be a more motivated student. We might even have a scene, a future-oriented scene, where we see you when you've completed your degree, working in your own clinic as a psychologist or whatever it is you're going to become, and that would enhance your motivation, because of course motivation is about where am I going, why am I going there,